support.
The maestro, please.
First pop analysis of 2025. Today we'll be looking at APT by ROSÉ and Bruno Mars.
ROSÉ.
Roseanne Park, her Korean name being Cheong Park, is a New Zealand/Korean singer, first gaining fame as a member of Blackpink. Most of her early hits are with the K-pop group, such as most notably given she has now started her solo career as well, where she has also gotten hits like
Everything I need is on the, everything I need is on the ground.
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars is a frequent topic on this channel, considering he was one of the first pop analysis we ever did.
24 karat magic in the air.
Covering another collab he did a couple years later. And he was literally in the pop analysis we did to end off 2024. Since we've literally just talked about him not too long ago, he hasn't really been up to much since.
Background.
APT was originally released on October 18th of 2024, charting the following month at the beginning of November at number 8. It's bounced around in the top 10, but as of the end of January and beginning of February, it is number 3. If the opening to the song sounds quite familiar, that's because it's an interpolation of the songs start off fairly similar, and the beat is almost identical given there's a little bit of a textural difference. Because of the interpolation, both the writers of Mickey are credited, Mike Chapman and Nicky Chin. APT is off Rosé's debut solo studio album, Rosie. The song did come out first, because the album wasn't actually released until December 6th of 2024. APT is the first of currently 3 singles off of the album, the other 2 being and
We were toxic till the end. It's even when I said it was over, you heard.
It is quite the collaboration on this album, and I don't just mean between ROSÉ and Bruno Mars. Credits on this song include Amy Allen, Roger Shahayed, Omer Fedi, Theron Thomas, Circuit, Brody Brown, and finally Philip Lawrence. Marking Amy Allen's 3rd time on Pop Analysis, first talking about her when we did
Thinking you could live without me. Thinking you could live.
and then just last year with
Please, 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 don't prove I'm right.
And since it was just last year, she hasn't had time to get another pop credit to her name. Moving on to Roger Shahayed, we also mentioned him with a Halsey song, given it was the other one we did.
I'm bad in love. Ooh, ooh, but you can't blame me for trying.
Since then, he's continued to get pop credits, mostly in the rap realm with
Made this here with all the ice on in the booth. At the gate outside, when they pull up, they give me loose.
in addition to
And I can put you in. I can put you in.
marking the 4th time we're doing Omer Fedi, the first 3 being
Why you always in the mood? Fuck around like you're brand new. I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but I need you to stay, need you to stay. I do the same thing, I told you that I'll never.
and finally
At the body shop, doing something unholy. He's back.
the man has continued to get pop credits though, working with artists such as SZA
Wish I was special. I'd give all my special.
and Lil Nas X.
Back up out the gravesite, bitch, I'm back like Jay Christ. I'm finna get the gaze hype. I'm finna take.
Theron Thomas is another one who's been on Pop Analysis quite a few times, going all the way back to
Alright, it's about damn time. Turn up the music. Let's celebrate.
and then continuing with
All my life. They be trying
as well as
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 days a week, every hour, every minute.
and the man has been busy getting even more pop credits like
That's just how we roll. You know what it is, how we.
and
I want every bit of you. I guess I'm selfish.
and yet another repeat. Circuit we've talked about a lot. He has also worked on Unholy and 7, but he goes back even further with
I'm a motherfucking star boy.
and
This girl's like you, roll around with guys like me till sundown when I come through.
And because he's such a prolific songwriter and producer, he's gotten even more hits, mostly in the dance and electronic realm, with songs like
Yeah, 360. When you're in the mirror, do you like what you see? When you're in the mirror, you're just looking at me. I'm everywhere.
and more recently with Finally, we have Brody Brown and Philip Lawrence, which, when combined with Bruno Mars, makes the group Shampoo Press and Curl that we first mentioned when we did 24 Karat Magic. Now, the three of them have all worked independently of each other, but as a group, they also have
Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty.
APT is released jointly by The Black Label and Atlantic.
Form.
APT is listed as a pop rock, pop punk, new wave, and K-pop song, is just 2 minutes and 49 seconds long, is in C minor, 4/4 time, and 149 beats per minute. The song opens with ROSÉ picking the game, as it were, before jumping into the first chorus. We then get Rosé's verse,
Kissy face, sent to your phone, but
the pre-chorus done just by Rosé,
don't you want me like I want you, baby?
and then a repeat of the chorus. We then get Bruno Mars's verse,
Turn this opposite into a club. I'm talking
then both of them doing the pre-chorus,
sleep tomorrow, but tonight go crazy.
and both of them doing the chorus. That leads us to the bridge, a final pre-chorus,
All you gotta do is just meet me at the.
and a final chorus,
Just meet me at the.
before the song actually ends.
Lead.
A synth lead trying to sound like an electric guitar, it starts off wildly simplistic, just hitting that C and that B flat C in between phrases. Later on in the verses, though, it does get a little bit more interesting. Regardless, in the first pre-chorus, it actually doesn't change much, still doing just quarter notes, but at least it's hitting more notes now. Here we have an A flat, B flat, C, E flat. Things finally start to change, though, once we get to the bridge, given it opens up just hitting those low Gs. Once we get into the bridge proper, though, it does get a bit more interesting with syncopated rhythms, starting off on that C, B flat, E flat, and then back to C. Similarly in the verses, though, it does get a little bit more interesting, a bit more playful in its melodies as we move on. And as we get to the end of the bridge, it does this longer syncopated figure at the very end, starting out on that low F. In the final pre-chorus, it does replace those quarter notes with these longer whole notes. And during the final chorus, it actually has the solo nearing the end of the song.
Bass.
The bass, for the most part, just doubles whatever the lead is doing an octave lower, but there are various points where it does something different, like here in the pre-chorus. Starts off on that A flat, going to B flat, dropping down to the C, and then going back up to the E flat. And notice how they're all whole notes, as opposed to what the lead was doing originally, which was quarter notes. Another example is during the bridge. Starts off on that low C, jumps all the way to the high B flat, and drops down to the E flat, all whole notes, given it does repeat those octave jumps that the lead does in the same area. It's not until the final chorus where we get something a little bit more unique. Yes, it's still a lot of whole notes, but pay attention to that second bar on that B flat before it jumps up to the G and B flat an octave above, before going back down to the C.
Chords.
The chords have two parts to them. We have that pad up top, and then we have an acoustic guitar on the bottom. They are playing the exact same chords, but obviously the acoustic guitar has a strumming pattern, which is why you see the difference. They first play during the pre-chorus, doing that A flat major chord, B flat major chord, C minor chord, and E flat major chord. They keep repeating that same thing during all the pre-choruses, but we get a different thing in the bridge. Even here, you can notice the acoustic guitar strumming pattern has changed. Now the chords are C minor, B flat major, E flat major, and then a C major chord. They repeat that until the end of the bridge, in which case they still open with those first two chords, the C minor and B flat major, but now we have this long drawn out F major chord and even a G major chord at the end.
Intro.
The song opens up with this sort of Korean chant, translating to Chaeyoung's favorite random game, game start, before the actual song starts itself.
창이가 좋아하는 랜덤 게임 start.
Verse.
The verses for the most part are fairly simplistic and arguably not even pitched, so it's kind of an approximation of what's actually being sung. We also have these uh-huh-uh-uhs that are taken from the chorus to tie each phrase together.
Kissy face, sent to your phone, but I'm trying to kiss your lips for real.
You see, Rosé isn't really terribly diverse during the verses. They're all very simplistic, minus the more sung part at the very end of this phrase.
Red hearts, that's what I'm on, yeah. Come give me something I can feel.
Bruno Mars's verse is similarly simplistic, not really pitched, more of talking, and the rhythms aren't complex, but there are a bit more layers, like those whatevers that they go back and forth between the backup vocals and the main line. Notice that those uh-huhs are still at the end, though.
It's whatever you like. Turn this APT into a club. I'm talking.
Bruno Mars continues the same idea, a couple of backup vocals, but at the very end, now Rosé and Bruno Mars are singing on those O's in harmonies.
I'm talking drink, dance, smoke, freak, party all night. Come on, come back, go, what's up?
Pre-chorus.
The pre-chorus actually stands out very much against the verse. It is clearly being sung, given that the rhythms are still very simplistic, but we have more of a melodic arc here, spanning between all the way from A flat all the way down to D.
Don't you want me like I want you, baby? Don't you need me like I need you now?
The second phrase essentially repeats that same idea, but at the end we have a large jump all the way up to that B flat and then jumping down a fifth to that E flat, D, E flat.
See tomorrow, but tonight go crazy. All you gotta do is just meet me at the...
In the second pre-chorus, we have Bruno Mars and Rosé singing in harmonies almost, and I think entirely, in thirds.
Don't you want me like I want you, baby? Don't you need me like I need you now?
Other than that one addition, though, the pre-chorus is essentially the exact same.
Sleep tomorrow, but tonight go crazy. All you gotta do is just meet me at the
Chorus.
Probably one of the most simplistic choruses we've ever done, kind of just sort of this chanting thing minus the uh-huhs at the end. Notice that APT is actually the Korean word for apartment. While it doesn't really change in terms of rhythms or harmonies or really anything, the second chorus is more layered because now Bruno Mars and Rosé are saying it together. It's not until the last chorus that we get any sort of significant change. Now we have these harmonies all in the middle done by Bruno Mars, and we have Rosé at the very end of here repeating just the "just meet me at the." That then repeats, now with different harmonies in the middle, and Bruno Mars is the one who says it at the end as opposed to Rosé. The last change we get at the end of the last chorus is now that ending is now sung by both Bruno Mars and Rosé, again in thirds.
Bridge.
The bridge actually has this sort of intro to it, initially just spoken by Rosé, given Bruno Mars jumps in on the end.
Hey, so now you know the game. Are you ready? 'Cause I'm coming to get you.
Once we get to the bridge, we have Rosé now much higher in her register, hitting all the way to that C, and that lovely melisma, quite simplistic as it is, that B flat to that G.
Hold on, I'm on my way.
The following phrase essentially repeats that idea, some changed rhythms because of changed words, not as many melismas, but pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm on my way.
When those two phrases repeat, we then get Bruno Mars coming in as well underneath Rosé, mostly in fourths, given it transitions to thirds at the very end.
Hold on, I'm on my way.
They then do this following phrase pretty much the same except for the back half, which changes. We don't have that melisma, and we have a very different harmony now, an F major chord at that end.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm on my way.
A fairly short and fairly simplistic song, I think, which makes it extremely catchy. Bruno Mars has been nailing it with all these collaborations lately. Obviously, we just had the one with Lady Gaga last year, we have this one with Rosé, and now there's a new Sexy Red collaboration as well, and in the music video for that, Rosé and Lady Gaga are in it. Regardless, even if you're not a big fan of this song, you at least have a new fun way to invite someone over. So next time you want to have them over to your place, you can just say to
Meet me at the
You know, it's funny, obviously, with all these high-profile collaborations, everyone's listening to Bruno Mars, making him one of the most streamed artists on Spotify right now, and I do like that he's kind of leaning into the joke himself about being in debt.